All right, we are at 1 o'clock exactly. We'll go ahead and start kicking things off. For those of you who are here early, you've heard this request. On your screen, you will see a poll question over to the right. And we invite you to put your answer in there as we kind of get things kicked off. And then our speaker will be talking about that shortly. So we'll pull the slide down. That poll will continue. But let's go ahead and get things rolling. So again, thank you so much for joining us today for today's educational webinar talking about the Employee Center. And special guests with us today, I'll be introducing them momentarily, Paul and Sam. First, a couple quick housekeeping items. Everyone will remain on mute through the duration of the webinar. But if you have a question at any point, we want to ask you to use the Q&A box. Now, there is a chat box, but please use the Q&A box specifically instead. That'll make it easier for us to track those questions. Make sure you get an answer. If it's appropriate to ask it at the moment, we will. Otherwise, we'll save them to the end, and we will do our best to get to all the questions that come in. So again, thank you for being with us here today, talking about the Employee Center. With us, first of all, we'll have Paul Schofield. Now, I've had the pleasure of knowing Paul and Sam both for quite a few years here, even back before we all came to CDW and started the ServiceNow Solutions team. Paul started in 2017. Prior to that, he was a project manager and ServiceNow developer and has really gone on to shine with his extensive background with the platform. He's had multiple integrations with apps, including Salesforce, PeopleSoft, Zendesk. He's very familiar. He's ITIL Foundation certified, Lean Six Sigma Yellow Belt. You're in very good hands with Paul Schofield today. And along with him will be Sam McKenzie. Sam's a solution architect here at CDW and started in 2015. He's got 5 years ServiceNow development, 6 years web design, 4 years service portal design, 5 years with JavaScript. He's also a certified service portal fundamentals trainer. So again, you're in two very competent sets of hands today as we get into this topic. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Paul. Paul and Sam, you guys can put your cameras on and come off mute. And then we will be closing out the poll, and Paul will be talking about that momentarily. Paul, take it away.
All right. Thanks a lot, Mike. Appreciate it. So I'm just going to go ahead and bring up my slides here. All right. So I don't see the results of the...
Looks like 10%. Yes, we use Employee Center. 46%. We are currently not utilizing Service Portal, but they do have plans to go to Employee Center in the future. And then 27%, no, we're not currently utilizing the Service Portal. And 17%, we do not use Service Portal or Employee Center currently.
All right. Okay, and I realized the polling answers were on the other screen, so that's good. Good to see. So, all right, so we have a lot of customers and participants today that are either not using Employee Center and looking to do it, or not looking to do it. So that's good. It's good to know. All right, so today, we're going to be reviewing Employee Center. I try to keep these entertaining. I don't want to bore everyone. Unfortunately, I do have to do a slideshow. So, but this will give us a great chance to be able to get to know the product. If you're not aware of what Employee Center is or what it can do, you'll be able to hopefully at least grasp what Employee Center and the benefits of it are. Three main points that we're going to review today in my demo, though, is I want to be able to show you how to engage your employees with targeted campaigns and content and the employee forums. I want to make sure that you also understand that this is something you can roll out in portions. So if maybe you want your HR team to start it off, or you want your IT team to start it off, and then slowly mix in those other departments, you can do so. So if you have a service portal that you're using and it's working for you, great. Maybe you don't want to jump over to Employee Center right away. You want to phase it out. Employee Center really gives you the ability to do things like that. And finally, I want to show everyone on how you can do more with your themed portal pages by incorporating some of the ready-to-use widgets that are built on the standard portal technologies that ServiceNow uses. And just to really give that curated experience, that unified experience for all of your employees, for no matter what department or area that they work in. So. All right, so first and foremost, what is Employee Center? So Employee Center, to summarize it, it's a new portal that ServiceNow, not necessarily a new portal. It's a new store offering that represents a portal that ServiceNow has offered, previously known as the Employee Service Center back in Quebec, but as of Rome, Employee Center is its own standalone application that's available in the ServiceNow store, as well as the Employee Center Pro, which is available for customers who have either HR Pro or Enterprise, or maybe they've purchased the individual Employee Center Pro license separately, but the differences between the two are really Employee Center gives everyone the ability to report issues, request IT services, find service related answers, complete to-dos, and while all doing that across multiple departments. If you have Employee Center Pro, it throws in extra things like your employee communication and engagement through like campaigns and forums, being able to do cross-enterprise searches, from external sources, things like that. So the widgets that are in Pro is what we're going to be looking at today as well, and how those widgets interact with the targeted campaigns and content. So overall, ServiceNow has given a really great tool in Employee Center to be able to give you a complete system for all of your employees to engage with with their intranet sites or applications and things like that. So how does it work? ServiceNow has really simplified the access to information and services across all departments and through any device. And what that means is you have your HR and your IT departments coming together in one location, your legal departments, your workplace departments, and you're bringing all that content together so that it's quickly and easily findable for your employees. So previously, you might have had a portal for your IT where you can go and you can order a computer, or you can report an issue that is wrong. And then you would go over to an HR portal where you would look up your, maybe an employee handbook, or maybe it's open enrollment. And then maybe you're going over to your finance to find out, hey, where are my pay stubs? Maybe you're going to a Sharepoint site, which has some links to other external or internal sites or applications. ServiceNow has really taken all that, pushed it all into one employee portal, and gives you the ability to do that. So, and again, we'll also review on how the employees with your personalized and dynamic actionable communications with your Employee Center Pro can really hone in on the targeted audience of where you want to get your message across. So who uses it? You use curated experience to group and tailor your content. And Employee Center enables employees to do things like report issues, request items, find service-related answers, and complete to-dos. To-dos are a task, for lack of a better word. So we'll review that in a moment as well. ServiceNow also allows you to use it how you need to. So Employee Center Pro, as we mentioned, gives you the employee engagement and communication. So it's really centering in on taking Employee Center to the next level. So you can bring everything like your intranet sites, and gives you the ability to maybe retire some of your other intranet sites where, again, you might have, 30 different sites out there, and everybody's an owner and everybody has different content or the same content or outdated content. This really gives you the ability to bring that all together and consolidate it into one specific portal. And some of the things that I just want to highlight on what we can include in here is that actionable targeted campaigns. I'm telling you, this is a really great feature. We're gonna go over this. I'm very excited if you couldn't tell about it. Yeah, the targeted campaigns is great. The dynamic topic pages as well. So being able to have a separate page and look for an HR topic page versus an IT topic page. Specializing in your widgets for multi-department tasking. So being able to say, hey, person who does just one job and person that might be responsible for 3 or 4 jobs can see all of their tasks and their different items that they need to work on, or their to-dos, again, all in one search area in one portal. And speaking of searches, the enterprise search. So enterprise search allows you to search everything. So we're searching across the enterprise. So we're bringing back things like catalog items, applications. So maybe HR and you have PeopleSoft access, or you want to check your pay stubs. Bringing all of those searches and all those capabilities together in one search, and the AI search, obviously, with your genius results. So. And finally, employee forums. So giving your employees that area to speak and to discuss things, whether it be related, or maybe you have a water cooler forum where users can go and they can talk about their favorite video games or their favorite book that they're reading. All while also still integrating all that great technology and being able to maybe open up an incident or something as it relates to your forums. And we like to make sure that you do it right. So everything from mega menu navigation to your dynamic topic pages, all the way through to your mobile experience and your targeted campaigns, making sure that everything, again, is centering in on the right audience. So whether you are accessing it on a desktop or a mobile, whether you are a manager or you are a tier 1 agent, you're getting that unique experience to yourself when you go and you visit your employee center. Again, some of this seems repetitive, but this is where you can really start to customize and make it not only your own, but make it work for you in a better way. So Employee Center still uses all of its best practice design themes that you're familiar with the other portals that you're using. And using CSS, you can theme your layout, so you can add all your pretty colors. Maybe you want to have modal windows, or you want to have different icons and things like that. The themes can be used. So again, if you're using a service portal and you already have gone through these steps of creating a theme, you can bring that theme over, incorporate those same standards for your colors and your borders or your custom fonts that you might be using. And just like any other portal, a custom URL can even be integrated. So you can have something like myportal.acme.com for your company name, and making it specific to you. Maybe you have a special intranet name that you use internally that everyone's aware of. Then you can go ahead and rebrand your portal to use that internal name. Automation is key. So I love the term ServiceNow makes workflow. It does so through the portal as well. So again, your theme portal pages, so that you can have certain content appear on those different pages. The Unified Content Taxonomy, which if you don't know what the new Unified Content Taxonomy is, we will review that. But basically, it allows you to see all of your content in one place. So whether it be knowledge articles or catalog items, quick links, applications, things like that. AI search, which is also customizable for your user's experience. So you're only getting the results back for data that is pertinent to you or your role at the company. Your content experiences, your content publishing, and again, we're going through with the enterprise search. So if you're wondering why it matters for your business, it improves product. Let me try that again. So it improves employee productivity by reducing the time and effort employees spending looking for services, updates, and information. It does not improve your speaking ability, as you can see. So the access to information and services across all departments are made simple and can be accessed through any device, which we said earlier. So again, if you're accessing it on a mobile device, perhaps you have different information or different content that's available for users on your mobile. So maybe you want to have mobile FAQs compared to a desktop FAQs, and you can also still maintain the best practice design as you can with any other portal that ServiceNow has to offer. How are we doing on QA? Any questions so far, Sam?
None so far, but just to add a quick note to that last slide, I think it was the first point. It was saying how it's geared towards helping people not have to click around to so many different areas. So it improves productivity, it reduces the time that people spend. So in the original service portal, the /SP, people spend all of their time clicking on the different things. It's like, I need to go read a knowledge article. So now I have to click on knowledge, and then I have to click on the category, and then I have to find and scroll and click. And with the Employee Center, you click on the topic that's associated with that hierarchy, which you're going to talk about later and demo later. But then everything that you need to know is right here in the content in the middle of the page. So you don't have to do a lot of clicking and searching. So that helps save so much time, because who likes clicking a bunch of times, right?
Right. Yeah, and that is definitely one of the things that that ServiceNow recommends, is keeping the clicks minimum. So I'm going to go ahead and share my, come back over here to my presentation. There we go. I don't know why that was so hard. So, okay. So, all right. Again, I want to make sure that we're covering our points here that the webinar has. So, again, you can start small when it comes to Employee Center. All right. The Unified Taxonomy, which is shown here in our mega menu here, is really based around a taxonomy that goes across content. So as Sam was saying, in your old service portal, you would have to sit there and say, I'm looking for knowledge. So I'm going to go over to the knowledge base and go through my taxonomy of my knowledge base to find my knowledge article that I'm looking for. Or I'm going to order something. So maybe I'm going to go through the catalog, the service catalog, and again, go through another taxonomy to find that specific catalog item. What ServiceNow has done is they've unified the taxonomy. So, for example, IT hardware. I'm just going to go ahead and click on this category. This is going to bring me to a topic page that shows hardware items. Now, not just requests. It could be a request. It could be an article. It could be an application that perhaps that you would have access to. For example, I'll just click over on my HR systems. Same thing here. We have applications, maybe Workday. So you have an application that you have available. These dynamic topic pages, you'll see they're all the EMP taxonomy topic page. As I go through my different topics, it's going to the same page, but it's showing me different content on that page. So again, your HR departments can have a completely different look and feel. They can have different quick links available or different applications than if you were to come over to an IT department. Perhaps they want to have a pretty banner with cats and puppies included with their IT topics. It's all configurable, and not only is it configurable, it's easily configurable by simply modifying backend records. For example, if on your homepage, I'll just go back because it's a lot easier for this. So we have one of the widgets is quick links. All right. Previously, for quick links, you'd have to create a widget, and you would put the quick links or the links to your external sources that you want in a custom widget. ServiceNow has taken that idea and made a completely back-end configurable item here. So you can do something like quick links. Oops. No, let me it's in my favorites. That's why. Try to make this nice and easy for myself, and I seem to have made it harder. All right, so we have our content, we have our quick links. So you'll see this is an actual page, an actual list of records that are on the back end, that instead of needing to create a custom widget that would then need to be customized or configured by an admin each and every time you want to change and modify your quick links, ServiceNow gives you the ability to just have a quick link active or inactive. Here you see is our external link for our careers. So now we want to say, hey, this is no longer a valid link. They click save. Now when you come out to Employee Center and view it, you'll see that your quick links, refresh the page here. is no longer available. So rather than needing to go in and customize a widget or clone the widget and then customize it for the content that you need available, ServiceNow has made Employee Center and the new available widgets really configurable and keeping that no code mentality in mind while you're doing it. So being able to scale your departments is a lot easier this way, because you can have your quick links specific to your HR or your quick links specific to your IT on those subtopic pages. So the taxonomy, as I was mentioning, and that unified taxonomy really keeps it all in one place. Sure, can I still do a search out here and look up phishing? And have the genius search come back and tell me, hey, did you actually mean phishing? And be able to get your content broken down. Sure, maybe I'm looking for people, or I'm looking for catalog items, and I can still further filter that content. So your normal search is still there, and that genius search in your AI search makes it even more powerful, because again, you're keeping the content relevant to who you are and what you should have access to. If I have nothing to do with ordering an iPad, or I don't have the ability to ever order an iPad, then maybe it makes sense for that catalog item to order an iPad to not be visible for me when I go to my Employee Center, because then maybe I'm going to open up a ticket and be like, I'm trying to order an iPad and it's just not working for me. Well, that's because you shouldn't be ordering an iPad. So this unified taxonomy not only keeps your content there and visible for you, but it also enables you to do things like enable your quick links in another area. So again, that same content for that quick link is just related now to a different topic and makes it relatable and visible in this mega menu. So one second. So being able to have these that unified taxonomy available makes it customizing your individual portal pages and incorporating these widgets on these portal pages a lot easier. So again, if you have applications, you have quick links that are available on a specific topic, they would appear. If you don't have any quick links, then it's not going to appear. So again, we're keeping this same page, so we're keeping that same template. You can also have different templates available. So maybe you want all HR systems, maybe you want the quick links on the left-hand side, or maybe you want it all in a single row, or maybe you want your mobile layout to be different. You can have that all depicted by the topic page or that topic template that you use for your taxonomy.
Hey, Paul.
Yeah.
We have a question. Speaking about widgets, so the question is, if you guys have existing widgets in our service portal, how easily can they be used in Employee Center?
Oh, great question, and very easily. So Employee Center is built on the same technology as your other service portal, whether that be a service portal, maybe it's the Employee Service Center if you're still on Quebec. But those custom widgets are still built on the same technology. Obviously, if you're bringing it into a different themed portal, there might be some CSS changes or just some minor modification of code to make it work correctly in your layouts. But the widget would work the same. The same functionality is there. This new Employee Center is not taking away any functionality from any of the existing widgets that you may have already been using.
Excellent. And somebody did ask another question about an integration with Teams and SharePoint, but I did answer that one. But they were just asking, how does this, or can it integrate with Microsoft Teams or SharePoint, since that's where a lot of organizations have their content currently?
Yeah, that enterprise search that's available in Employee Center Pro allows you to even search that content out in SharePoint. So yeah, there's all kinds of integrations that will allow you to do that. You have your chat for your virtual agent. So if you have a virtual agent that's available, you can incorporate that into your Employee Center. You have tours. So if you have any tours that have been created, that can maybe it's your first time to your Employee Center and you want to give your new or existing users a tour around there, you can do that as well.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so quickly and easily scaling from single to a multi-department service delivery option is kind of ties to my taxonomies here. So the unified taxonomy, you'll see I have an IT, I have an HR, I have risk and compliance. Maybe we're going to bring on finance. So in order to do that, you would update your taxonomy that you have available in your portal. So you would have an IT, you have an HR, and now you have a finance taxonomy, and you would add that finance taxonomy. And then the same rules would apply for those departments. So again, if the IT department decides, hey, as the IT department, I want to have my pretty banner, I want to have this subset of widgets or these articles that are available, I want to have these topics or subtopics, or even furthermore, a third layer of child topics that are available, then sure, you can do that. And so if you have IT, you can start with your IT department, but then you bring on HR, then you bring on your finance teams. Then maybe you're going to bring on your your XYZ department because they have a need to come on here. It's really all up to you on what teams you want to incorporate here. Ultimately, I look at this as the single place that I would want to go as an employee, because I think once you have two places to go, then it's all right. Well, then who's ownership? Where do I go to find that answer? So even if you want to offer a subset of or sub-site for offering information to someone, include that here. Include it as a quick link. Maybe you have an open enrollment site for your HR department that's on your corporate website, or maybe it's just an internal intranet site. Create a link here. So for those employees that come to your employee center, you can get to anything and everything from here. So that way, it's a single point of entry for all of your employees. All right. Now I'm going to go into some campaigns and the curated content, because I think that's what really takes Employee Center to the next level. So on the home page here, this widget up here on top is a widget that comes with the Employee Center Pro. It's called your Content Experience widget. There is an update, I believe, in the May update of the store release for this for Employee Center. Worth mentioning, since Employee Center is now a store app, you will be able to reap some of the benefits that come from future enhancements. So if the new Employee Center August launch includes certain aspects, you will be able to incorporate those into your current version if you're still on, say, Rome. There are always exceptions to the rule. There could be additional features or functions. So things like being able to, for example, you can now favorite content. So you can favorite if you have a catalog item, and I love this catalog item, or I love this knowledge article, and I want to favorite it, and then I want to be able to see my content quickly and easily. So when I go to Employee Center, I can always real quickly get to the stuff that I'm always using. Perhaps you need San Diego. I believe you actually do need San Diego for that, because you're incorporating new things on the back end. So, check out the ServiceNow store for Employee Center. It will tell you what you can get or the requirements that you need for that. But the important thing to mention here is that the app is always evolving. So Employee Center is the new service portal. So for our customers that are on the call today that, hey, I'm using Service Portal today, don't really want to go to Employee Center, ServiceNow is not going to be offering any new features or functions for Service Portal. All new deployments of service, all new deployments of Portal that we work with our customers, we recommend and do deploy Employee Center because it's the new direction. It's where everything's going to go. It's where all the updates are happening. So you're going to get all those new widgets. You're going to get all that new functionality. And when you're using Pro, you're going to continue to get some of the benefits that are coming out as well. One of them being this content experience. So
another quick question. Sorry, someone just said, speaking of the old portal, does that mean the old service portal is going to be deprecated?
It's not going to be deprecated, so it will just not be updated. So if you're using Service Portal, it's not going to go away. But if you're looking for, boy, I wish ServiceNow would update this, this approval widget that comes with Service Portal, chances are it's not going to be updated unless there, some kind of security risk or something like that gets identified, that they would, obviously roll out like an emergency patch or whatever that would happen. But yeah, Service Portal is not getting any more updates. But the good thing, as I mentioned, is if you have custom functionality or if you have features or functions in your Service Portal, they can be moved over to Employee Center. Or you can use your Service Portal and incorporate some of the Employee Center widgets into there as well. So think of it that way. Really, the functionality, again, is coming from the widgets and the capability that ServiceNow offers. So previously you'd have to go in and say, hey, I want to include, this ticket type now in my to-dos widget. You would have to go in and clone the widget, reprogram the widget to say, hey, now look at all of these additional tables of information. ServiceNow has just really taken that and, again, really grasp that no-code approach and allows users and companies to be able to roll out, updates to, things like their to-dos list or their campaigns and the content, again, to the specific targeted audience that they want to see.
Thanks, Paul. And then another question: I can put more comments or I could put more information into the chat, but if you could give a high-level overview, what are the main differences between Employee Center Regular and Employee Center Pro?
Employee Center Pro, main differences I'd say are these content experience widgets, like this header widget here. There's also the video widget here as well to be able to display videos on there. There's just some of the key widgets, as well as the access to your to employee campaigns and your forums as well. So there is a, let me see if I wanted to see if I had a quick link that I could provide. We can definitely provide a link, but they're out on the Employee Center pages that ServiceNow offers. That's in my slideshow. There's a complete explanation as to what you get with Employee Center and what you get with Employee Center Pro, and some of the differences in the widgets as well that you get with Employee Center Pro.
I'll put that link in the chat.
One of the other things recommended for you, I think, in the popular topics widgets, I think, are also for Pro. And these are machine learning driven widgets. So these are not widgets where you're going and saying, hey, for Paul, I want to recommend the Apple MacBook Pro. No, this is stuff that's recommended for you based on either things that I've browsed or things that I've ordered in the past. Or again, maybe it's my job role. So, if I'm in IT versus if I'm in, maybe the workplace department, I might have different content there available. Again, popular topics and things like that are what people are clicking on. So you can see what other users are doing. And again, this is all specific to you. So if I, for some reason, didn't have access to the HR topic and I wasn't an audience of HR topics, I wouldn't see this in my machine learning driven widget. It would be hidden or just not appear. Okay. I want to show you the campaigns because I think they're great. So I'm going to go ahead and go over to content experiences. We have our content experience builder. There are some just examples here. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on this open enrollment one. So some of the key or some of the top use cases I think of when I think of campaigns are things like those company holidays or the months of the year that we are celebrating something special. So whether it be Black History Month or Pride Month, or it's Columbus Day, and we have off that day, or whatever content that you want to be able to disperse amongst your employees and disperse amongst your audiences. So your campaigns are really built around targeting those specific audiences and giving them the right content. So The content experience builder allows you to interactively take the content that you've created and the audiences that you've defined and bring them all together. So after you've already created your content and you have all of your all your approvals that you've received and that content is available and ready in the system for you to use, you can simply come into into the experience builder and build a campaign. So, for example, I'll just go ahead and just create some stages. This is the stages are really, I like to call them points in time where something changes or something needs to be recommunicated. So if we were to think of this as, open enrollment, perhaps during the first week, we have, hey, welcome to the team, email goes out. We have a banner on your employee center that says, hey, here are some learning sites that you might want to check out. Here are some to-dos for you to do in your first week of being an employee, things like that. So you can take this content, and again, there's a lot of content that you can throw out here. But you can pick any of the content that you've had, and then you click and drag it onto the stage. So I'm just going to go ahead and just create a quick, week 2. Trigger type, we'll say this is going to be immediate, but we're going to have it offset on the trigger start date. So we're going to say this is going to happen 7 days after. So this will basically say, this is my week 2. So when my campaign starts, this is gonna start immediately, but it's gonna offset 7 days. So then I can come out here and I can look and I can say, all right, I want to take this and I want to look for open enrollment reminders. So I'm going to throw this in our week 2. It brings up our little item here. We go to our page that we want. So this is the page on our employee center on where we want this content to appear. So if you need to know that, you just get it from here. So you come out here and oops, because I closed that. So we'll do open enrollment reminder, get my window back up here again. We're going to choose our page as our AC Pro dashboard, and watch how easy this is. Since I picked my page and it knows the content, so this is, in case you didn't see here, I picked a banner. So these are the different banners. The widget instance is really just going to give you the ability to pick the only widget or widgets on this page that can take that content and display it. So again, really simple and easy. It's kind of makes it really idiot-proof, if for a lack of better term there. But if you know the page that you want, you're now just picking your content, and you can even further refine your audience. So, for example, if our target audience for this campaign for open enrollment is all users, so every user in the company, I want to have the open enrollment campaign begin for them. You can then select this content and refine your audience. So maybe for week 2, this open enrollment reminder is specific to your North American employees. Maybe you want to have a separate one for your European employees. So maybe you have different links, or you have different requirements, or a different site for for open enrollment. So being able to refine your audience and keep the right audience engaged and seeing the right content is great. This avoids you needing to go to a portal and saying, hey, here's our open enrollment link for North America. Here's our open enrollment link for Europe. It keeps your targeted content. It keeps the message short as well. You want to have your audience get the answers they need quickly and easily. Minimize the clicks, minimize the content, minimize the user not knowing the answer to something and being able to get back to doing their work. All right, so we have our week 2, we picked our open enrollment banner. So now again, I can add more stages. I can add a week 3, I can have a January, February, March stage. So maybe I want to go through and I want to create my company content for each month of what we're going to do throughout the year of 2022. Hey, we're going to have a Christmas party. Well, let's get that content up and approved now. Let's get it ready so that it's just ready to launch. So that when we launch 2023, we have all our content ready and say, hey, here's the pictures from our Christmas party that we had, and have a pre-link out there that's already incorporated to your SharePoint site or your internal OneDrive account or whatever to look at the Christmas party pictures, things like that. So this really gives your users the ability to not only view that content and schedule that content, but then they can even take it one step further and preview it directly on the portal so you can see what the content's going to look like. Obviously, of course, I picked the one that's going to give me all kinds of errors. So I'll do that week 2. There we go. So now we have our open enrollment is here again. So this allows me to see that content. And when you're creating this content, it gives you the ability to even modify your images. So if you want to just grab a clip of an image and make that your banner, there's an image editor that can be used in creating your content as well. So as you can see, this is my page, what I'm going to have. Maybe I don't want to see inactive content. So if there's any content that's out there that might not be active, or might be active on here that wouldn't be, but you can change your stages to see how that would look as you go through week to week or month to month or day to day, however your stages are defined. It's really great, honestly. It's fantastic. And the content library is really where you start. So as I mentioned, when you start, when we started, when you have your content library all there and approved and ready to go, and you have your audiences defined, this is where you come out and you create that content. So maybe you have an event, so you have an HR meeting. So you can publish this content and say, all right, well, there's an HR meeting from June 17th to the 20th. We're going to go ahead and we're going to publish this. Let's call it HR meeting again. This is going to go on my service portal. It's going to go on my EC Pro dashboard, and it's going to go on my upcoming events widget. So before I do this, I'll just show you my upcoming events. We have, Let's Get Moving, etc., etc. So I come out here and I'm going to choose my audience. So I'm going to choose active users again. Again, this is your audience is who you want to contact. So if there's a capability to say, or if there's a capability to filter on specific data, then you can filter on this data. So think of the user table. Think of your HR profiles. So maybe your HR profiles, you want to maybe just get a specific key demographic that you're sending your campaigns to. Maybe you want to be able to offer it to your North American users versus your European users, male, female. If you have a piece of information that is in a record based on a user, then that can be your targeted audience. So again, really think of it as really specifying the piece of information that you're showing to your users. And then you can choose on when you want it to be active. So maybe it's just active for a specific duration, or it's always active. So maybe you just want it active for the month of June. So you would select, your start date and your end date, and then your content would be available. Save and publish that. So we have an HR meeting. Now I would come back out here and make sure this appears now. Yeah, there is a scheduled job that needs to run, I believe, right, Sam? For the events. All right. I do know that in the new version that I do not have in my demo instance here, in the new version, when you publish content, it becomes published immediately if it is immediately. So if this active is within that date, it doesn't need for the scheduled job. But the current version that I'm running right now requires the scheduled job to run for it to appear in this list. But this is the widget of where that task would appear. So if I were to either run that scheduled job or upgrade my version of my employee center, then this content would appear there.
Hey, quick time check. It's 1:45.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you know. And then could you show my tasks in the header? Because someone had a question about like a to-do and how to get confirmation or an acknowledgement from the employee of I did this thing.
Sure. Yeah. So under my tasks is the HRM to-dos page. So this to-dos page, this to-dos widget, is again one of those back-end configurable items. So let me just show you real quick. To-do content category. Is this the right one? Right. So these are the items. This is my configuration. Okay. So so this widget, again, previously, when you wanted to add or remove tables or change a filter, you'd have to customize the widget. The to-dos configuration is based on all of these different configuration records. So you can target different content. So maybe you want to have your approvals appear in your to-dos page. Maybe you want to have incidents that you opened appear in your to-dos page. It's really up to you, because what you can do is you select not only the table, but your specific conditions, and you select which tab it appears on. So either you're open or you're completed. So all your open stuff, maybe you want to show, all of your open approvals, but on your completed tab, maybe you don't want to show all your completed approvals because it's going to flood, maybe you do a lot of approvals and it's going to flood your completed list. So it's not something you really need to see. But this to-do is gives you the ability, and through curated content and through campaigns, you can create to-dos. So here's some of my completed ones that I've done. So you would have the content of what you want, and then you'd basically have a button here that would say, hey, I did this. Here's one of our test items that we have here. So I click this test, and it's basically going to say, congratulations, you completed your test video to do, whatever that may be. That cover your question?
Yes, thank you.
All right, no problem. So yeah, just to show some of the other stuff here. So we have my requests. Again, this is based on your open requests or closed requests. Again, this is configurable about the data and the record types that you're going to see out here. So again, this is currently showing work orders as well as incidents. So you can configure this again, nice and easily on the back end, without needing to customize a widget, without needing to know a developer that can do this for you. It's just a matter of changing a record or creating a record in a table. And final thing, and please keep the questions coming because I know we're supposed to be in a QA right now, but I just wanted to show the employee forums as well. So employee forums can also be incorporated with your campaigns. So maybe you want to have an employee forum that is set up for open enrollment, for questions on open enrollment. You could have a forum specifically for open enrollment, and then have that link sent out either through an email or maybe as a link in your banner, or maybe as a to-do to say, hey, I've reviewed the employee forums, things like that. So again, you can see all these forums can be configured to either allow commenting or not allow commenting. So it can be point systems. You can pick a different display name. You can have a terms and conditions on here, so on and so forth for your forums. But basically what this allows your users to do is interact with one another. So again, select your time zone. You can change everything in your preferences, no topics right now. But yeah, the employee forums is the ability for your employees to basically go and have a conversation. If you want to encourage this, obviously you just need to turn on the forums if you're a pro customer. Some alternatives if you're just looking for maybe feedback on knowledge articles, maybe you just want to have comments on your knowledge articles and allow feedback on your knowledge articles. But forums is a great way for your users to be able to interact with one another.
I had another question, Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Quickly. So I just had another question about menus. So
Okay.
they said, how can you add a menu item to the menu options? And so I guess there could be two answers to that, because I answered them in the chat because I assumed they were talking about the mega menu and the taxonomy and the topics, but then there's also the blue menu on top. So is it possible to modify what shows up in either of those?
Yes. Again, a configurable change, so something that you can configure as opposed to customize. So you can turn on tours, turn on or off tours. You can turn on or off virtual agent. You can turn on or off, my tasks and my requests and some of the options that are available. Your mega menu down here is going to be built based on your taxonomy. So this mega menu is specific. The items that are shown in here are again dependent on the topic or the item that you're viewing. So you could, and actually I know my taxonomy has a lot more options for IT and HR than just HR systems. But if there's no content, then the child topic does not appear. So if you don't want something to show up, then you would either remove that from your taxonomy, or you would have no content in there, which would make it kind of useless. So, but if you're maybe building out your taxonomy, you can actually build out your entire taxonomy how you think it will live, and then populate that taxonomy as you go. So maybe you don't have HR systems taxonomy or content yet, so you don't have the catalog items built, or your knowledge items aren't published yet. But once they are, they'll be ready. So if you add those items there, that's when they'll appear. So again, you can have quick links. Risk and compliance is just bringing you to that same taxonomy topic page. But it's just, there's no drop down here because there's no content under your child topics.
Excellent. That answered it. Thank you.
The worth mentioning as well is your footer. These footers are available on Employee Center. These are also completely configurable as well, from the logo to the colors to the links. So yeah, whether you want to show your Twitter and Facebook links or LinkedIn, it's all configurable and customizable. Some of them, like as I mentioned, configurable or customizable. So some of them do require customizations. So if you were, hey, we want to, have a search bar in the footer, then obviously it's not something you can just go ahead and say, hey, turn on the search bar in the footer. You would have to either create a custom footer that has that, or maybe use a header with the search bar in your footer, something crazy like that. So. But all your colors, your logos, if you've ever customized a portal before, you use the portal designer, and it has the ability to go in and change your, what your menu colors are, what your link colors are. When you're creating your content, you can create your background images. You can create logos or add the logos for your content as well. So all of your taxonomy can have individual logos, or again, as I mentioned, it can have a banner. Or your quick links, maybe your quick links are going to have a link, have an image. Maybe some of them aren't. So we have an open enrollment. There's no limit, no images there. But as you saw on our quick links widget in the top, we have some quick links that actually have images attached to them. We have 5 minutes left. My demo is definitely over, but I did want to see if we had any other questions or comments or anything of the sort. So just to summarize, Employee Center is available starting with Rome, free for all users. Employee Center Pro is available if you have HRSD Pro or Enterprise. It'll also be separately licensed. But Employee Center Pro is the new recommended portal for all customers going forward, outside of Service Portal. Obviously you can migrate from Service Portal to Employee Center. You can launch Employee Center and just change the URL. But all in all, plenty of options. And if you need help with that, feel free to reach out to any one of us for some help on that as well.
Hey, we want to thank you, Paul and Sam, for really good look under the hood here of Employee Center. Some really cool changes and modifications just to help us going forward. So again, thank you very much, and thank you for tuning in with us, to our audience. I'm sure there could be questions that come up after this. So a couple things real quick. Number one, we will be emailing you a link to the recording. Feel free to share that with anyone. And if any questions come up, feel free to reply back or simply reach out to your CDW account manager, your account representative. Happy to have any further conversations, answer any more questions we can. And other than that, hopefully looks like we got to all the questions that came in. So with that, have a great day, and we will see you next time.